The film begins by featuring a young boy. Quinn was his name, and he had arrived at the building site with his mother, where his mother used to serve as a project engineer. Quinn hands his mother over that letter that he had got from the school management. After this, there is discussion between them, and Quinn's mother goes back for working along with her co-worker. Someone was saying ill for Quinn's mother where he was standing, because Quinn's mother had assigned that man a task to move underground tunnel. Quinn says to that man, "We should not say ill to others because of our own fear." And Quinn asks that man with it, "Do you feel fear for going into the tunnel?" Hearing it, that man loses his temper and he says to Quinn that, "Go there if you are bolder." And Quinn also moves into the tunnel, taking a torch from that man. Going inside, Quinn touches a weird surface, as it is a rock. Touching that surface, a few flames fall on Quinn. As Quinn looks up, he witnesses a giant dragon there. Dragon falls his saliva on Quinn's face and he runs outside as being panicked. Quinn's face had infected here due to that saliva dropped by that dragon. Coming outside, Quinn tells all the people and his mother that there is a dragon in that tunnel. This fact is believed by his mother, but remaining people do not trust in his words. And those people go into that tunnel, ignoring the warning of Quinn. And that dragon kills those people, blowing fire from his mouth. Now the flames of fire had started to appear out of the tunnel, where Quinn and his mother were present. Quinn moves to a lift, accompanying his mother, because they wanted to go on the surface of the ground through lift. But dragon flies high using his giant wings, and it attacks that lift where Quinn and his mother were present. Quinn remains saved from the attack of that dragon here, but his mother loses her breaths. It was being told in the story of the movie, it was 2010 when this dragon had appeared from here. After this incident, such type of the dragons had been discovered throughout the world. And these dragons put a great loss in the world during the time of 10 years. Even though human population had also reduced dangerously, and dragons had not decreased in numbering in spite of the struggles. Many years later in the movie, Quinn comes on the scene, who had grown up. Shockingly, he was still secured from the attack of those dragons. Low population had left in London with it who were the survivors. Quinn was the head of all these people. Those survivors had built a small underground city, where those people used to live there in a hidden way from the dragons. They all people used to live together and plan to kill the dragon. And they used to move outside when there was a need to bring the food from the field, or they had to work in the fields. Quinn knows here as their companion Getty is leaving their area. Quinn stops that man because he did not want this, as someone may leave this place and become the target of the dragons. But Getty was willing to move outside from this place at any cost, because he had lost his wife and son when he had arrived in this domain. Because there was the little quantity of food here. Now he did not want to lose his rest of the family here, so he was leaving to take the food. But Quinn explains to him that we won't be able to take food from there until the crops are fully ripe, and we will have to depend on the little quantity of food till that time. Next morning it is seen that Eddie had stolen the jeep keys of Quinn, and he had come out of that domain along with some people silently, the area that they had built underground, so no dragon may make them its target. Security system is alerted as they reach the field. A few dragons have approached here, so danger alarms begin to sound in the field and the domain because of the arrival of the dragons in fields. Their sound used to indicate the nearer danger. As Quinn is getting ready his team to face those dragons, then he comes to know that Eddie has crossed the boundary of this domain. Quinn was becoming aggressive, thinking they have gone outside without his permission, and Quinn was not willing to protect them. As being a leader, it was the obligation of Quinn to rescue those people. So he moves to the fields for this mission. He sets the fire in the surroundings of the field, reaching there, so the dragons may not witness them. Even their lives may be at risk in this way, and their null quantity of food could also be destroyed in this way. As Eddie and the people with him witness the fire in their surroundings, they think as this fire had been set by the dragons. Now they had understood here that no one can rescue them here. At the same time, Quinn appears there who makes them seat in his truck while saving them. And Quinn is driving with them to his domain in the truck. Meanwhile, a child loses his life. Quinn was also very grieved at the death of that kid reaching the domain. He was son of Getty, and it was also the fault of Getty, so he was also losing his temper. This scene completes here. Next morning it is seen that many vehicles stop, approaching near their area. And the leader of the caravan, named Van Zon, disembarks from a jeep there. who says to the security guards here, "We want to meet your leader here." This is the cause Equin is called there. That man Van Zon tells Equin that we are the dragon hunters. It means that we hunt dragons. He also reveals here that our many companions have met their end last time while hunting the dragons. And many of our weapons have also been spoiled with it. That man says to Equin, "It is the cause that we want to take the refuge under your shelter, so we may enable to fight with the dragons while repairing our weapons." That man shows an arrow to Equin in order to prove his story truthful, which he had taken out of the mouth of the dragon after hunting it. Seeing it, Equin begins to believe in him, and he allows him to stay in their area. Quinn meets a girl named Alex in this group, who was the pilot of this group's helicopter. Quinn's men ask those people, "How do you hunt the dragons?" And they reveal that we hunt those dragons while jumping from the helicopters. In the next scene, it is seen security guards were detecting as dragons have approached here again. Security guards turn on the danger alarms of the domain. In this way, all the people of this place are alerted. Now other people had also gone to hunt the dragons along with Quinn's men. 3 members of this group reach there by the motorbike, where they had idea as the dragons will approach there. And they set a machine there which is like the Retta. That machine was in 3 parts. And they had to set that machine in such a way that a shape of triangle may be made after placing them in this way. They could not carry out their plan until they set the machine properly. It is witnessed here that 2 bikers set that machine at a place properly. But one of the bikers is fallen down before completing this task, and he loses his breath there. On the other side, that team leader was trying to contact the 3rd member. At the same time, Equin approaches to that dead man, and he contacts with Van Zon through the walkie-talkie of that dead man. Van Zon instructs him how and where had he set the 3rd Retta. And Equin has set that machine at a proper place with the instructions of Van Zon. Now Alex is seen in the air, who was saying to a man who was with her, "Jump from here, so he may become the food of the dragons. And the remaining hunters may entrap the dragons." And they carry out the same. Now one of the hunter jumps out of the helicopter. The dragon is going to victimize him, then he moves far while opening his parachute, while 2 remaining hunters try their best to entrap it. And they are succeeded in it. But that dragon moved backward, freeing from that trap. And he eats one of the men. And the other man is died because of falling down. On the other hand, Van Zon can be seen looking at a dragon on a computer screen. And he says to Equin here, "Come down from the mountain, because dragon is proceeding to you, and I have to hunt that dragon." Quinn was retreating on the saying of that man. That dragon was also after him as Equin was returning back. And the other group leader hunts that dragon here. Quinn and his companions are very satisfied here because they had hunted dragon. But Van Zon was not satisfied at all because he had lost his 3 members. Now Van Zon reveals his real plan to Equin here. Van Zon tells Equin, "There are only female dragons throughout the world according to our research. And there is only one male dragon in London. All dragons will be eliminated if we hunt the male dragon. And other dragons will also not be bred." There was a purpose of Van Zon of telling a plan to Equin that he may allow his team members to be the part of their group. But Equin does not agree with him because his team members may lose their lives doing as such. Van Zon moves to those people hearing the descent of Equin. And he explains to them while saying it, "If we hunted all those dragons, then we easily will be able to spend our lives independently under this vast sky. There will not feel the need to live in fear stealthily." As Equin knows that Van Zon is provoking his men, then Equin is embittered and fight begins between them. Van Zon was more powerful than Equin in this fight, so he beats Equin badly. As a result, he was left badly wounded. Van Zon's companion Alex was feeling bad for Equin here, so she gives the ointment to Equin for his body wounds. In the climax of the movie, it is being shown that, at last, that male dragon had stepped in their area. That dragon sets the fire in their area before they hunted it. Due to this, everything is perished here. Quinn and Van Zon rescue the children here. And Van Zon's team members meet their end along with the men of Equin. Van Zon's fault and haste had taken the lives of many people here. So he apologizes Equin here, and Equin also wanted the safety of everyone. And he did not want as that giant dragon may arrive here again. Being agreed with Van Zon, Equin and all other decide to fight with the dragon collaboratively. Now Equin gives the responsibility of his domain to his special attendant. And he says to him, "You are responsible for the safety of the people and the area. and he himself goes to kill the dragons along with Gavi and Zonk, where they witnesses while reaching the center of London as there are many dragons, and those dragons are eating one another after victimizing them. They were observing this, then male dragon appears there. All small dragons are terrified seeing it, and they leave that place. And it was the good indication for a Quinn and a Van Zonk, because they had not to waste their energy while killing those small dragons. Now they had only one mission: to hunt this male dragon. But the trouble was this here: how will they reach that male dragon? How will they lure that dragon towards them? This trouble is resolved by a Quinn because he had good knowledge of London. Quinn takes Van Zon to a tower and he himself descends. Alex performs her duty here as trap for the dragon, and she jumps before it. As that dragon opens his mouth to eat Alex, then Van Zon sets a bomb into its mouth. But that bomb is not exactly fixed into its mouth. That dragon does not get any harm, but it becomes aggressive, and it takes its step forward to attack Van Zon. But Van Zon does not feel confusion but jumps over the dragon boldly, holding his axe. Unluckily, he remains unable to hunt the dragon rather eats him. Now dragon looks at Equine, and it proceeds to victimize him. And Equine eventually explodes the bomb into its mouth, saving himself here. Consequently, that dragon is ended there. The scene drops here and a sight after a few months is shown, where not a single dragon had survived in London, and they were spending their lives under this vast sky with no fear. Quinn and Alex, two survivors from that day, were spotted with each other. This movie completes on this scene while showing them